Hey everyone, it's Sam with Wrestling Overtime, and I'm here with your Raves and Rants review of WWE NXT on May 27th, 2020. Now, I know that Raw this week had a live crowd, but I was a little surprised that they went ahead and let NXT have a live crowd. I don't know why, but I really wasn't expecting it. They were full of what appeared to be Performance Center trainees. I didn't recognize any of them, so that doesn't mean anything, but I'm thinking that they were possibly trainees. We start off tonight with Group A's final match. It's actually the semifinal match to decide who is going to be in the finals to get the interim Cruiserweight Championship that they took away from Jordan Devlin due to the travel ban. However, it's the finals of Group A. We had a tie between Drake Maverick, Jake Atlas, and Kushida, so they decided that it would be a triple threat match tonight. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. This was a very good match. I didn't think it would be. I don't know why. I am familiar with all three of these guys and their work, but I haven't really been impressed with it in NXT. Kushida I had seen on YouTube, I guess in New Japan. Or it might have been Starship, I don't know. And I had always been impressed with his work. I had seen Drake Maverick as Spud, over in TNA. And I just really had high hopes for them and had been disappointed with their work in NXT and WWE and 205. So I really wasn't expecting much out of this. However, they kept the action up. I felt like Jake Atlas really wasn't as involved as much as the other two. He seemed to be the person that Kushida or Drake was performing moves on or somehow taking advantage of. And maybe that was what his role was supposed to be, but it just didn't seem like he was really involved in the action and getting much offense going. Of course, this match, I guess, was meant to end in a little bit of controversy. Kushida got a rolling armbar on Jake Atlas and was trying to get him to tap. At the same time, Drake Maverick, since his shoulders were on the mat, covered him with his arm and was trying to get the count. So the referee actually counted 1, 2, 3 and awarded the match to Drake Maverick. Now, however, on replay later in the show, you could see that Jake Atlas's arm was sticking out underneath Drake Maverick's, and as the referee is on 2, he starts tapping. So, technically, Kushida won. However, later on, like I said, Kushida comes backstage and wishes well to Drake Maverick and says, since he is fighting for his job, that he respects that and for him to go get his job, for him to win. Now, Drake Maverick, being the type of guy that he is, I guess he is not slimy anymore. He tells Kushida he will get the first opportunity at the title when he wins it. Now, after the match, we had Phantasma come down and shake Drake's hand, and they basically said some words of respect, and it was announced that they will meet in the finals next week. I don't know if I agree with this or not. I don't know that when they plan, well, number one, this tournament was unplanned. No one thought that Jordan Devlin would get stuck due to the travel ban overseas. So when they threw this tournament together at the last minute, I don't think this is who they predicted to win. However, when Black Wednesday happened and there was such an outcry by the fans and Drake Maverick went to social media to try to save his job, I think WWE said, hey, let's just run with this. And they thought this up. Throwing in the whole Kushida having Atlas tap, it was a nice little touch because Drake Maverick, there's not a doubt in my mind that he's going to win the finals next week. When he does win the belt, he has a program already built for him. And if at that time they decide they want to do away with Drake Maverick or he loses his fan support, they can always give it to Kushida. And I almost think that that's who this tournament was made for anyway. I can't help but think that as soon as Jordan Devlin, is able to travel, that they give him the title back. They should. He was doing very well with it, and he was getting over and getting the kind of support, that he needed. So, I don't know. I just think this all is one big mess, and I wasn't really into this tournament. I didn't really enjoy any of them that were entered into it. Like I said in previous episodes, they had Akira Tozawa winning, and in the same very week, they had him on other shows getting beat in 2 minutes by WWE superstars, so it didn't make him look real good, or the other participants look real good. And I don't think that they really thought that through. So, just not really impressed with this whole tournament. Then they show Kurt Angle backstage talking to Timothy Thatcher, and they start plugging that tonight's main event is going to be Timothy Thatcher versus Matt Riddle in a cage match where Kurt Angle is going to be the guest referee, and they make it seem like he is going over, I guess, the stipulations, rules and regulations with Timothy Thatcher. Then we get Johnny Gargano, or as Mauro calls him, Johnny Ruthless, come out with Candice LeRae. And he says that he just wants to explain the Gargano way, and that it's not about getting rid of anyone, that he just wants to make the show better and give more people opportunities that don't get them. So he has decided that tonight will be the first Johnny Gargano Invitational, and the first participant will be Adrian Alanis. Now, of course, I didn't recognize him. He comes out, and Johnny is a little bit distracted, I guess, where Candice was down there, and he was playing to the crowd a little bit, and Adrian tried to take advantage of that, but quickly, Johnny slaps him around a little bit, super kicks him, and then uses the Gargano escape to win, and it was pretty much worthless. So as you're going to hear from a lot of people on the internet, number one, WWE is using this to get Johnny Gargano over as a heel, but they're also using it probably as a reward for performance center trainees. Hey, you can get on TV, you can wrestle Johnny Gargano. Yes, you're going to lose, but we're going to see how well you can sell and do different things. But this didn't get him over as a heel to me. I felt like the promo last week got him over with me more. Him beating up somebody that maybe is off the street that they put trunks on doesn't really scream heel to me. However, the screen kicks on and we see on the Titantron that Mia Yim and Keith Lee are having dinner together, and they're doing a parody of Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae's dinner promo that they cut. And they are basically making fun of how Candice LeRae and Johnny cut their promos with what appeared to be flashlights. You know, you have Keith Lee saying it's too bright and them talking in weird voices. And after they laugh about that, then we see Mia talking about how Candice LeRae has to be mad that, you know, she's never won a title and she's been in the business a billion years. And Keith Lee starts talking about how Johnny Gargano is the same size as his action figure is. And then you hear a knock on the door. Keith Lee says, you know, he wants to know what's for dinner. And you see Tegan Knox come in with a pizza box. He gets all excited. And Tegan takes a piece of pizza out and takes off. And Keith Lee opens the box and there's one piece left. And he's a little upset about that. But at the end we see Mia Yim and Keith Lee make a toast to making Johnny Wrestling pay. I like that promo. I like them showing their personalities, and that also established Johnny Gargano more as a heel than what that match did. So I think WWE needs to drop the Invitational, definitely, unless he's going to do an open challenge. Then we get an Imperium promo. Now, I'm sure all of you that have been listening to Wrestling Overtime for a while have figured out that I enjoy heels usually more than I do the baby faces, and I really like Imperium. I was glad that they beat Matt Riddle. I can't stand Matt Riddle, and so I loved it when they showed off their tag team championships, and I was glad that they had won those. And then they used their time to call out Oni Lorcan and Danny Bush, and basically they want them next. Which is fine with me because I have been impressed in NXT, and let me emphasize that part. In NXT, I've been impressed with Lorcan and Burch. But when they have went up to WWE, I have not been impressed with them. I haven't felt that their selling has been up to par and a lot of things like that. Which kind of leads me to the next match. Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota Kai. Now, Shotzi drives her little tank out, and I really wish that they would play up her crazy a little more. It's pretty obvious that she's got a lot of crazy in her, and they just need to play that up. Let her be crazy. I think she'll get over more if they do that. But the person that won me over was Raquel Gonzalez. I was very impressed with her. She had kind of gotten on my nerves the last couple weeks, and I wasn't really sure about her backstory. I didn't know, you know, what was going on. She really seemed like a puppet of Dakota Kai. But here recently, she showed a lot of promise and everything. But the transition that you know, I wanted to use is selling. And whoever teaches selling at NXT, you're overdoing it. I don't know whether they teach overselling so that the person in the last row at the arenas can see it or what. But Raquel Gonzalez way oversells her facials are overboard. She jumps around like somebody's hit her with a taser. And I've noticed Rhea Ripley also does that. And that's the reason why I'm saying it's whoever's teaching that at NXT is making them oversell. I mean, big time. I definitely noticed that with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. You know, Charlotte kicked her and she fell back really well and then proceeded to flop around like a fish and making facials like her eyeballs were going to pop out of her head. And Gonzalez is, you know, kind of doing the same thing. She just needs to tone it down. But her powerful moveset really works for her. I really enjoy that she is not afraid to use her strength, her size. She seems to me like she is okay within her body and with herself. She has a lot of confidence that she portrays, and I really enjoy that. Shotzi, like I said, she still seems to be feeling her way around. She feels like she's not comfortable yet with her character and how she should be moving and portraying that character in the ring. And like I said, I think she's got a little bit of crazy in her. Hey, let her play that up. Tegan Nox ended up coming out and she kicked Dakota Kai when Dakota Kai was playing around in Shotzi's tank. And, you know, of course, they're arguing, and Candice LeRae comes out to confront Tegan, and I'm thinking, what is this? Introduce everybody in the women's division? Why can't we have just a one-on-one match? I know that, you know, Triple H and William Regal and whoever else is backstage, Shawn Michaels, is wanting to get as many wrestlers as they can out there. But, you know, when Tommaso Ciampa is wrestling, I don't see 6 other guys come out. Have the same respect for the women. You know, we don't need to see 50 people come out every women's match. We just don't. You know, the match ended with the referee getting distracted by Candice and Tegan and looking away so that Dakota Kai could attack Shotzi, and then Gonzalez did a really good power slam for the win. And they have, it seems to me, now if you don't see this, or it's not a big deal, or it doesn't get on your nerves, then tell me that. Write me at wrestlingovertime@gmail.com and tell me. But it seems like whoever sets up the show, they have a block or a segment or, I don't know, a time period where they want to do everything concerning the women back to back to back. Or it's like they want to show a women's match, a women's promo, and then another women's match. And I don't understand why they feel the need to do that. Just sprinkle them in. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's not like they have a cruiserweight block or the, you know, they're having a tag team block or anything like that. So you don't have to do that for the women. But the next match we get is Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai tag teaming versus Charlotte Flair and a mystery partner, which turns out to be Chelsea Green with Robert Stone. Now, I know that Charlotte Flair is very good, and she went down to NXT to help the younger women and to get them over, to help teach them some things and all of that. But I am sorry. The Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai tag team, no one should be beating them. if you would put them on WWE main roster right now, they would win the tag team championships. If you put them in AEW right now, AEW doesn't have tag team championships, but I think they would beat any tag team that you could put out there. I think you put them in Impact. These two, they're unbelievable. Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai just have shooting stars written all over them, and putting them together as a tag team with Io, high flying and quick moving, and then you have Rhea Ripley's power, her submission moves, just willing to do anything and everything, and her being so young and still learning. I mean, this is a powerhouse tag team. So I wanted them to teach Charlotte Flair a lesson. This is really my first time seeing Chelsea Green wrestle. I saw her wrestle one other time right after Robert Stone became her manager or her advisor or whatever they call him, and she was basically in a jobber match, and it didn't matter. So this is the first time I've really gotten to see her, because at first Charlotte Flair tells Chelsea Green to have at it, and she wants her dealing with everything, and we see Chelsea Green kind of struggle with that as she's getting a lot of the offense that Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai are giving her. However, once Chelsea Green makes the tag and Charlotte Flair gets in the match, she kind of takes over. Even when they're getting some offense against Charlotte Flair, you can still see how good she is. You're still waiting for her to make that comeback and to take over, because she just had that, look or that feel about her tonight that I'm the experienced veteran and I'm biding my time to win this match. They told us to go 10 minutes and we're still at minute 9. Here in about 30 seconds, we'll take over. I mean, that's what she gave off tonight. So, at the end, Charlotte rolls up EI and uses the ropes for leverage, again, showing the heel that she is in NXT, to, win as she did with the kendo stick and everything. She's really building that up. But you could just definitely tell that there was a big difference tonight in how Charlotte Flair carried herself compared to the others. Then they show Kurt Angle again backstage, this time with Matt Riddle, talking about the match, going over, I guess, like I said, the stipulations, rules and regulations and everything. So we get Adam Cole and William Regal's negotiations. They're on a Zoom conference call, and William Regal wants to have an Adam Cole Velveteen Dream match for the NXT Championship on TakeOver in your house on June 7th. And he basically wants to know what it's going to take for Adam Cole to do this. And, Adam Cole's joking around and, basically being a smart aleck, but he finally says he wants the stipulation that if he wins, then Velveteen Dream is done. He can't challenge for the title anymore as long as Adam Cole has it, because he doesn't want to deal with him anymore. And I'll be honest with you, I don't blame him. Velveteen Dream has wrecked a lot of his plans and has tore up Undisputed Era and has made them lose and everything. So I don't blame Adam Cole for wanting that stipulation. I don't think that he was prepared for William Regal to just agree and say that he will start finding a location that will spotlight both of them's strengths But, yeah, William Regal agreed to it, and so Adam Cole will be taking on Velveteen Dream at the next takeover on June 7th. And I'm ready for this to be over. I know, you want Velveteen Dream to finally get his title. And, of course, if you read a lot on the internet or you read a lot of different internet sites or dirt sheets or whatever, they're ready for Adam Cole to move up. I'm not. Adam Cole has very little time left on his WWE contract. He is a shorter performer, and I can't see him going up against someone like Brock or Braun or even Drew. And I don't want him going up to the main roster. I think that he is fine in NXT. They don't need to move him. And I honestly feel he's only held the belt for a year. Hey, keep that belt stabilized. And I want to see an Adam Cole Finn Balor match. I want to see that program run 3 or 4 months and them really establish that. I think it could be a very good program. And then let Adam Cole's contract run out, and then he can make the decision where he would like to go next or if he wants to stay in WWE. After that, we get a Danny Burch and only Lorcan video package where looks like they're in a restaurant and they're talking things over and how they feel that since they've been a tag team and they've known each other for a couple of years, that it's time to get together and start challenging for the tag team titles, and that means taking on Imperium. So basically what NXT did was just set it up. Oh, yeah, both of them agree. Now you're going to be seeing them go against each other here. I really don't feel like we need that. We didn't need either one of those promos to tell us, oh, they agree and they're going to be in a program. Just start it, as far as I'm concerned. Then we see Leon Ruff, and we hear Ciampa's music. And as he's getting ready for his match, we see Scarlett appear. And she is staring down Ciampa. The bell rings, and immediately Leon does exactly what he should do and attacks a distracted Ciampa and tries to take advantage of that. Now, quickly, and I do mean quickly, we're talking within a minute, Ciampa pretty much takes over, ends up hitting the fairy tale ending while he is staring at Scarlett for, the win. And then he continues to set in the ring staring at her. She goes to walk up the ramp and turns back around to stare at him again, and Ciampa points at his wrist saying, it's time. And she gets to the top of the ramp, and all of a sudden on the screen, Karrion Kross appears. And he said, that he has realized that what Ciampa said, that he's right. That Ciampa is special. And that TakeOver is special. And that he feels like he's going to make Ciampa feel something that he's never felt before in his life. And then, of course, he has to do TikTok. And Scarlett continues to stare. She walks off. I am enjoying this program. I like the whole Ciampa Kross. I like their chemistry. I think they're going to have a really good match. I definitely can't wait. I wish they would draw it out a little longer. Do some other things. Show, a little bit more of Karrion Kross's personality. How, crazy, sociopathic, evil even he is. and everything. So, not looking forward to this ending. But, I realize that they want to get him in some kind of title match or, a long program fairly quickly. So, this is going to be a good start for him. Then we come back from commercial and it is main event time. And as I've said in past episodes, I can't stand Matt Riddle. I don't like his stoner act. I know it's not an act, it's him. He acted like that in UFC. I don't like it. A lot of people say he works hard. You may even think that. I don't know. I just can't take his laid back stoner bro personality. He gets on my nerves. So anytime that I can watch him get beat up, I love it. I kind of hope that the rumors are true that he is going to SmackDown, as I reported on the News and Updates episode that you probably just listened to. Because I want to see him go up there. He's going to have to take some losses and get his butt kicked, and I'm going to laugh. I'm not sure about tonight with Timothy Thatcher. They're in what they're calling the Fight Pit with Kurt Angle as the guest referee. But let me tell you, when they show this structure that they're calling the Fight Pit that has, no padding, it has no ring ropes, it's got the upper platform, I am loving it. I hope AEW steals it and makes 2 of those, and that's what they have blood and guts in, and they make some kind of crosswalk that connects the 2. It would be unbelievable. I give major props to NXT for creating that. It does it. It just looks like a demonic structure. And it just watching them show the Fight Pit gets me pumped up for this match. Of course, they have to go over the stipulations that both of them agreed on, that it has to be a knockout or a submission. It started off, I don't know, I know they were wanting it to start off kind of strong. To me, it seemed like it kind of started off slow. They were filling each other out, and I understand that, but they've been tag team partners, and you would think that they would know each other fairly well. I didn't think that until, Matt Riddle did the bro kick where he hit Thatcher just right and popped out Thatcher's tooth, and then we saw Thatcher, spitting out blood in his tooth, and Kurt Angle getting a little worried. We saw the doctor check on Thatcher and determine whether he could clear him to continue. And of course, he did. But I didn't feel it was until that point that the match really got started. It seemed like then that both of them, somebody lit a fire under their butt and they wanted to pursue each other, because it was then that Thatcher really started concentrating on Riddle's feet, on his legs. Mauro made a comment about how Thatcher hated that Matt Riddle didn't wear shoes, that he was all the time barefoot, and that it didn't surprise him. He was concentrating on his feet, trying to get submission holds, ankle locks, and doing different maneuvers with his feet. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Matt Riddle getting him and up in a carry where he was going to basically bang Thatcher into the side of, the Fight Pit. And Thatcher used his arms to catch himself and pull himself up on the platform. And then we saw them get up there. We saw different moves of, Matt Riddle trying to hit him with a standing flip and hit his back. There were a lot of different kinds of maneuvers that I could see other performers doing on this. I feel like Thatcher and Riddle didn't use their imagination enough. Looking at that structure, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if you put Jeff Hardy in that, the things that would come to his mind. If you put Randy Orton in that structure, the things that he would come up with. I just felt like that they weren't really inventive with the structure. We saw Matt Riddle hit a floating bro flip off the top of the platform. It looked like he almost hit it wrong and hurt himself. So, was a little disappointed in that. And then, of course, we saw Timothy Thatcher get Matt Riddle in a rear naked choke twice. And on the second time, we saw him get it locked in, and basically Matt Riddle passed out, and Kurt Angle was holding his hand up to see, if he had control of it or not, and Matt Riddle passed out. Timothy Thatcher ended up celebrating as the show went off the air, and they really, didn't make a big deal of it. They didn't show aggravation with Matt Riddle or that he was upset or anything like that. And I was a little disappointed in that, because if they have plans on, bringing him up to SmackDown, I would hope that they would have shown that he was upset, that leaving him with a storyline that if they needed to send him back to NXT, next week or 2 years from now, that he has a story to go back to, that, he has unfinished business. But, I enjoyed that Fight Pit match. However, like I said, I just really feel like they didn't use their imaginations as much as they could. And I know that there are other performers in, the wrestling bubble that would have totally came up with a lot of different ways to use that, especially like Daniel Bryan or other people. And it may be where Timothy Thatcher and Matt Riddle haven't been around a lot. I don't know. I'm just shocked that people didn't help them out a little more and made it be everything that it could be. And I'm also shocked that they didn't have this match for TakeOver. Tell me what you think. Did you like that match? Did you like that structure? Are you wanting to see that structure continue to be used? I mean, I can't see that WWE created it and built it, that they're not going to use it again. I hope that they do. But I want you guys to tell me what you think. Hit me up on Twitter and our Facebook page at Wrestling Overtime, and write me at wrestlingovertime@gmail.com. I want to thank you guys for listening and for subscribing to Wrestling Overtime, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again, because like I always say, I am working overtime to give you what you want. You just gotta tell me what you want. And I will be talking to you guys soon.